In 1849, a single discovery triggered one of the most dangerous migrations in American history. Within months, an empty wilderness turned into a human stampede. Ships were abandoned in harbors, farms were left to rot. Entire families disappeared westward, chasing a promise whispered across newspapers and taverns: gold. Some men became millionaires in weeks. Others died alone in riverbeds with nothing but a shovel and a dream. But here's the question no one asks. Was the gold rush really about gold? Or was it America's first great illusion of instant wealth? Let's rewind. January 1848. At a remote sawmill owned by John Sutter, carpenter James W., Marshall spotted small flakes shimmering in the American River. At first, they tried to keep it secret. They understood the danger. If word spread, chaos would follow. They were right. By December 1848, President James K. Polk confirmed the discovery before Congress. That single announcement ignited a global frenzy, and frenzy spreads faster than facts. By 1849, nearly 80,000 49ers flooded into California. By 1852, over 300,000 people had arrived from the eastern United States, Latin America, Europe, even China. California wasn't even a state yet. No formal banking system, weak law enforcement, almost no infrastructure. But none of that mattered, because belief was stronger than reality. San Francisco transformed overnight. Land prices multiplied within months. A single egg cost what would be several dollars today. A shovel, normally cheap, sold for the equivalent of $50. Everything became speculation. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most miners were already too late. Yes, massive deposits were found. Between 1848 and 1855, more than $2 billion worth of gold, over $60 billion in today's terms, was pulled from the earth. But easy surface gold vanished quickly. Within just a few years, mining required heavy equipment, organized labor, and serious capital. And that's when the dream changed. Individual prospectors, the lone men with pans and hope, were replaced by corporations. Mining shifted from rivers to balance sheets. Wealth moved from dreamers to financiers. If you arrived early, you had a chance. If you arrived late, you inherited competition, rising costs, and shrinking odds. Imagine selling your farm in Ohio, borrowing money, traveling for months across disease and desert, finally reaching California, only to discover every promising claim was already taken. The breaking point wasn't dramatic. It was slow. Competition intensified. Violence increased. Rivers were destroyed by hydraulic mining. Small miners were pushed out. Debt replaced hope. Boomtowns that once roared with noise began to fall silent. Wooden storefronts decayed. Tools rusted in dry riverbeds. Entire towns emptied as quickly as they had filled. Ghost towns spread across California. San Francisco survived and eventually became a financial powerhouse, but thousands returned home bankrupt. Some never returned at all. The probability of striking a life-changing deposit had always been tiny. The real money? It concentrated elsewhere. Merchants, transport companies, bankers, the people selling picks, shovels, lodging, and supplies. The sellers of tools won more consistently than the buyers of dreams. And that pattern should feel familiar, because it repeats. The gold rush fast-tracked California's statehood in 1850. It increased America's money supply. It accelerated railroads and westward expansion. But it also exposed systemic weaknesses: no investor protections, no regulatory framework, disputed land claims, violence, discrimination, devastation of indigenous communities, harsh taxes on immigrant miners. Order came slowly, but by the time laws formed, the asymmetric opportunity was gone. The easy gold had already been taken, and here's where it becomes uncomfortable. The gold rush wasn't just about gold, it was about belief. The belief that one opportunity could change everything. The belief that getting in early guaranteed success. The belief that everyone else was getting rich, so you had to move now. From the dot-com bubble to cryptocurrency manias, the pattern repeats. A breakthrough discovery. Early winners. Media amplification. A flood of late entrants. Then consolidation. than reality. This is Nito D Creator. Follow for more.